Patrick Delaney was driving on Elwood Road around 1:45 a.m. when he crossed the center line and left the road. Delaney struck a mailbox and then drove through a ditch before hitting a tree. Authorities say the driver was not wearing a seatbelt and was pronounced dead at the scene. Alcohol is believed to be a factor in the accident.
Saudi Arabia appears to have attempted to cover up the murder of journalist Jamal Khashoggi with the help of a body double. On the day Khashoggi disappeared, surveillance footage shows a man wearing Khashoggi's clothes leaving the Saudi consulate and later dumping a plastic bag, likely filled with Khashoggi's clothes, near a popular tourist attraction.
Glance, this man could almost pass for Jamal Khashoggi, and that's the idea. These are the last known images of Khashoggi alive, moments before he entered the Saudi consulate. Take a look. Same clothes, same glasses and beard, similar age and physique, everything except the shoes. But a senior Turkish official tells CNN that the man on the left is a body double, one of 15 Saudi operatives sent to kill Khashoggi and then cover it up. His name is Mustafa al-Madani. Surveillance cameras capture him arriving at the consulate in a plaid shirt and jeans at 11:03 with an accomplice. 2 hours later, Khashoggi arrives. He was killed inside shortly afterwards.
While Khashoggi's fiancée waited in front of the consulate, we're told al-Madani came out through this back exit. Disturbingly, he appears to have been wearing the actual clothing of the murdered journalist. The intent, Turkish investigators say, was to perpetuate the lie that Jamal Khashoggi left the consulate unharmed.
The apparent double and his companion take a taxi to Sultanahmet Mosque. It's one of Istanbul's main tourist attractions and an easy place to get lost in a crowd. The men head to the bathroom. The accomplice carries a plastic bag. When they emerge, al-Madani is wearing his own clothes again.
And just like that, Jamal Khashoggi has disappeared forever, or so the Saudis would have had the world believe. Little did they know Turkish authorities would quickly uncover the cover-up.
From their next stop at a nearby restaurant, where al-Madani appears to have ditched his fake beard, to a dumpster, where the men finally dump the plastic bag. The senior official says investigators believe it likely contained Khashoggi's clothes. As they head back to their hotel, the pair appear visibly relaxed. Their mission is complete. Clarissa Ward, CNN, Istanbul.
Father James Clark of the Diocese of Greensburg will not return to the ministry, said the diocese in a statement. Clark was slapped with an allegation of abuse that happened nearly 50 years ago. The Uniontown priest was removed from the ministry in June after the allegations of his abuse of a 19-year-old person. The news was announced this past weekend during a church session.
Jacksonville police people were shot at a laundromat on Sunday, just a half-mile away from the TIAA Bank field where the Jaguars play. 3 are in critical condition. No suspects are in custody, and some witnesses say it appeared to be a drive-by shooting. Former New York City mayor and billionaire Michael Bloomberg was in Pittsburgh Sunday afternoon, and he met with Mayor Bill Peduto, and the two spoke about climate change. Listen to what Bloomberg had to say.
Long ways to go across this country to have sensible gun laws, to get guns out of the hands of people who are minors or people with psychiatric problems or people who have criminal records. And when you do the survey of even NRA members, 80+% think that those 3 classes of people should not be allowed to buy guns. But sadly, our laws don't keep them from doing it, and so we've got to continue the fight.
Pittsburgh was the recipient of a $2.5 million climate change award. The award, backed by Bloomberg, is part of a larger $70 million initiative which is expected to accelerate the city's effort to take control of climate change. Peduto said the city will use the money to implement a policy for buildings, expand bike and pedestrian infrastructure, and scale renewable power through community solar programs.
An employee at a Wilkinsburg hospital is now behind bars after he allegedly sexually assaulted multiple patients. Officials say that a 56-year-old Adelise Solomon is facing charges of rape, involuntarily sexual intercourse, sexual assault, and an institutional sexual assault. The criminal complaint lists at least 2 victims. A Fayette County man is facing 57 charges of sexual assault after police say he raped a relative. Pennsylvania State Police in Uniontown say that a 34-year-old Robert Allen Karwatsky allegedly raped the female relative when she was between the ages of 3 and 6. The charges filed last Friday date back to 2010.
A caravan of migrants from Central America has crossed from Guatemala into Mexico, heading toward the U.S. The men, women, and children say they are fleeing poverty and violence, but the journey has been anything but easy, and there are more hurdles along the way. John Lawrence reports.
Thousands of Central Americans, most of them from Honduras, are marching toward the United States.
This bridge, this river, they can't stop me, she says. I am an all-terrain woman.
They cite corruption and gang violence as to why they're leaving their homelands.
Our message is we're not criminals. We're coming over here because we want to work. We need a job. We need better, a better life. That's why we're here.
I don't want my kids in the middle of crime. I don't want to have the lives of my children further destroyed.
Mexican officials have been overwhelmed with asylum requests and have asked the United Nations High Commissioner for Refugees to help with processing migrants. President Trump, meanwhile, has issued a warning. Those who don't apply for asylum in Mexico will not be allowed to enter the U.S.
I will seal off the border before they come into this country, and I'll bring out our military, not our reserves. I'll bring out our military.
Homeland Security Secretary Kirstjen Nielsen says the U.S. is keeping a close eye on the caravan and will prosecute those who are trying to profit from irregular migration. Some of the migrants are low on money, but they keep moving forward, hoping for the best.
We have faith in God.
We have the faith in God.
He has the final word.
I'm John Lawrence reporting.
Thank you, John. About 2,000 people in the caravan have turned back home, according to the Honduran Foreign Ministry. Residents across western Pennsylvania woke up with a surprise on Sunday. The first snowfall across the area occurred Saturday night into Sunday morning. Seven Springs Mountain Resort received a hefty coating of snow overnight Saturday. Nearby Hidden Valley Resort also got in on the first snowfall of the year. The National Weather Center in Pittsburgh also said that trace amounts of snow were detected in downtown Pittsburgh, marking the first snowfall of the season.
Just a few weeks ago, we were experiencing 80-degree weather, and now it's snowing. It was summer, fall for a week, and now it's winter.
That's right, Megan. Temperatures this morning were again in the low 30s and frost covering cars across Pittsburgh. Jordan Gaso is in the RMU-Live Weather Center right now. Jordan, will this weather last?
Well, Mike, we shouldn't look at too much snow today, thank goodness, but we are going to look at very cold weather for pretty much today and pretty much the rest of the week as well. As we look at today's forecast, we have a high of 55 and only a low of 42. No percent chance of precipitation, but a 59% chance humidity. Probably looking at a little bit more frost later tonight and into the morning. Later on, we'll have our 5-day forecast, but for now, Mike and Megan, we'll send it back to you guys.
Thank you, Jordan. For all you need to know about news, sports, and arts and entertainment at RMU and around the Pittsburgh region, visit rmucenturymedia.com. Coming up after the break, we take a look at the historic lottery jackpots up for grabs.
And a debate between Senator Lou Barletta and Bob Casey got emotional. We'll have the whole story. We'll be right back.
They call me Maxie, but I prefer tripod. I was your above-average four-legged homie, and then wham-bam minivan. Some people pity me. Now that's lame. I still run, fetch, and swim. And the ladies love me. I'm the ultimate wingman. Just don't ask me to high five.
Here at Robert Morris University, we pride ourselves at the experience that our students gain while they're actively learning in the classroom. Some even come back to share that knowledge with new students.
I never dreamed that I'd be back here. I'm having so much fun. I'm doing a lot of what I was trained to do and what I went to school for.
The Colonial Sports Network is a great opportunity for students to learn real job skills in sports programming.
To be able to see what the students want to make of it, because it can be anything that they want. I love being here, seeing students, seeing myself, in the students that work with me, and I'm really blessed to have so much talent to work with. It's really amazing
to be able to see students become successful after Rufflemore. Is really cool.
Join the Colonial Sports Network team and expand your future today.
Hey, let's check out this park. Oh, wow, that's really cool.
To find a great local park or forest near you, go to discovertheforest.org.
Welcome back. A senator's debate in Pennsylvania got heated recently.
The two candidates threw personal punches, and things got a little emotional. The first debate between Pennsylvania's Democratic Senator Bob Casey and his Republican challenger, Representative Lou Barletta, touched on health care, abortion rights, and the economy under President Donald Trump before it ended in a personal and emotional exchange Saturday. In his closing statement, Barletta raised the matter of a Casey TV ad that accuses Barletta of voting to let insurers strip coverage for pre-existing conditions and features a woman, Stacey Ritter, whose twin daughters were diagnosed with cancer. Barletta contends it hurt his family because it mirrors the plight of his toddler grandson, a twin, who is fighting cancer.
The senator began running a commercial that mirrored the situation that we are going through with my 18-month-old grandson with cancer. My family was affected. I pleaded to him to please take the ad down. He said that his answer was that votes have consequences and you will be held accountable in November. Certainly didn't seem like he was sorry. The ad is still running today as we speak. My family is still hurt. My grandson still has cancer. My question is, could you tell me why you did that and why you won't take the ad down?
All right, Mr. Casey, your closing statement.
Congressman, if that ad caused you and your family any pain, I apologize for that. And I also apologize to your daughter as well. It was never intended that way. The reason I didn't make the connection between that ad and your grandson was very simple. I was thinking about Stacey Ritter and her story and her daughter's story about pre-existing conditions. It's a major issue in the campaign, but I'm sorry if I caused any pain at all.
Casey's campaign removed the ad from the Scranton television market, Barletta's home market. It is still running in other markets.
Once again, there was no winner in Friday night's Mega Millions drawing, but that means the prize just got a little bit bigger. A new world record, in fact. The jackpot now has an estimated annuity value of $1.6 billion. The estimated cash option is over $900 million. The next drawing will be Tuesday. The previous record, Mega Millions jackpot, was $656 million. It was shared by winners in 3 states in 2012. Between the Powerball and the Mega Million lotteries, there is more than $2 billion up for grabs. The Powerball cash prize grew to $620 million after no one won the Saturday jackpot. If someone was to hit both jackpots, they would win roughly $2.22 billion. The next Mega Million drawing is Tuesday and Wednesday for the Powerball.
Monday morning, Wallet Hub released their list of the best colleges and universities for 2019. The best ranking school was Massachusetts Institute of Technology. Following MIT is Princeton, Yale, Harvard, and the California Institute of Technology. Multiple Pittsburgh schools made the list. Carnegie Mellon University was the 25th best-ranked school. The University of Pittsburgh was ranked 128th. St. Vincent College in Latrobe was ranked 180th. And Duquesne University was ranked 256th. Robert Morris University did not make the Wallet Hub list, but it did make another list of best colleges. The Princeton Review released their best college region by region. This is the 4th consecutive year in a row that Robert Morris was named in the poll that salutes 661 colleges. Also, be sure to tune into our other shows, RMU Live, Mondays at 1 p.m. and Fridays at noon, Sports Talk in the Berg and RMU Tonight, Wednesdays at 5, and Colonial Sports Center, Thursdays at 9:30, right here on RMU TV.
When we come back, take a look at how long these winter temperatures are going to stick around.
And a new fall festival that came to Pittsburgh for the first time. RMU Live's Gage Golding has the story. When we come back, please stay tuned.
They call me Maxie, but I prefer tripod. I was your above-average four-legged homie, and then wham-bam minivan. Some people pity me. Now that's lame. I still run, fetch, and swim. And the ladies love me. I'm the ultimate wingman. Just don't ask me to high five.
Here at Robert Morris University, we pride ourselves at the experience that our students gain while they're actively learning in the classroom. Some even come back to share that knowledge with new students.
I never dreamed that I'd be back here. I'm having so much fun. I'm doing a lot of what I was trained to do and what I went to school for.
The Colonial Sports Network is a great opportunity for students to learn real job skills in sports programming.
To be able to see what the students want to make of it, because it can be anything that they want.
I love being here, seeing students, seeing myself in the students that work with me, and I'm really blessed to have so much talent to work with. It's really amazing.
To be able to see students become successful after Upper Moore is really cool.
Join the Colonial Sports Network team and expand your future today.
Hey, let's check out this park. Oh, wow, that's really cool.
To find a great local park or forest near you, go to discovertheforest.org.
Welcome back to RMU Live. As we take another look at today's weather, we're looking at a high of 55, a low of 42, 0% chance of precipitation, and humidity is at 59%. Looking at pretty cold weather today. As we look at the hourly forecast for today, I guess we're going, the hourly forecast, here we go. It's looking at 54 throughout the entire day, getting a little bit cooler around 9 p.m. and around nighttime, we're looking at a drop into the 40s. Now as we go into tomorrow's forecast, we're looking at around the same temperatures with a high of 52 and a low of 36, only a 10% chance of precipitation, and humidity is at 65%. Later on, we'll look at my 5-day forecast. Right now, we'll send it back to Mike and Megan at the desk.
Thank you, Jordan. Mike, it's unseasonably chilly, and I am looking forward to that 5-day forecast from Jordan.
You're right, Megan. Today started cold, but it's a good day to bring both the sunglasses and a coat, because it will be very sunny later on.
Supplies shipped from Pittsburgh to Florida in aid in the Hurricane Michael relief efforts have made it to Panama City. More than 50,000 bottles of water were among the many supplies sent by Esmark, a company with its headquarters in Swickley. People who were receiving the supplies say the shipment is a gift from God.
Trader Joe's issued a recall for their burritos after a concern for contamination. The grocery chain recalled the carnitas with salsa verde burrito after the onions used may have been contaminated with salmonella and listeria. The burritos were sold nationwide. Jenny Craig is also having trouble with frozen foods as the chicken wrap with barbecue sauce and the chicken barbecue wrap are both being recalled for salmonella and listeria concerns. The wraps were sold in multiple states, including Pennsylvania. No illnesses have been reported.
A new fall festival came to Pittsburgh this past weekend. The festival that was focused around pumpkins garnered the attention of thousands. Gage Golding has more on the story in Pittsburgh on the North Shore Riverwalk.
On Saturday, thousands of Pittsburghers flocked to the North Shore Riverwalk for an event that's never been brought to Pittsburgh before, the Monster Pumpkin Festival.
The first annual Monster Pumpkin Festival was held this past weekend on the North Shore Riverwalk. The event featured pumpkin carving, giant pumpkin drops, and a new sport to the City of Champions, pumpkin kayaking.
I just saw it on Facebook and I was like, wow, that looks like a blast.
Racers jumped in giant hollowed-out pumpkins and paddled down and back the Allegheny River every hour on the hour from 1 p.m. to 5 p.m. Saturday. Adam Whalen was one of the lucky few that did not get wet. Instead, he was covered in something else.
Just pumpkin juice.
When I asked if he would do it again, this is what he said.
Absolutely. You know, if they give me a call and they want me to do it again, you know, come back and try to win, you know, two years in a row, I'll do it.
These two friends squared off head-to-head in a race later in the day. As long as one of the two won, they said both will be satisfied.
That is going to be unique. It's going to be fun and exciting. Nobody else can say they did it.
Christy did not have as good of luck as Debbie. Watch her pumpkin take on water and capsize, but she swam on top of the nearly 700-pound pumpkin to finish the race.
I filled up with water on my left. I kept filling up with water, and I kept feeling it go in, and then I just sunk.
Christy plans on competing next year, but this time with a strategy.
That's right, I'll practice. I'll get a strategy.
Winner of another race was Reed Andrews, who says this event is a combination of two of his favorite things.
Okay, because my life has had two sources of meaning. One is giant pumpkins, the other is rowing. When they come together, I gotta be there.
Although he came out on top, he never even planned to participate.
Actually, my children entered for me.
What he did say summed up the entire weekend on the North Shore.
All of those elements are from Pittsburgh, and I guess only Pittsburgh could have put them all together.
And just to give you an idea, temperatures here in downtown Pittsburgh were in the low to mid 50s. People getting in these pumpkins right here just to paddle down the Allegheny River to have some fun. Reporting from the North Shore Riverwalk, Gage Golding, RMU Century Media.
Coming up after the break, Jordan Gaso is in the Weather Center preparing for your 5-day forecast.
And I'll have the latest with RMU Sports. We'll be right back.
It appears these hot ashes are about to be dumped, which could possibly start a wildfire. How will Smokey deal with such a hot situation? The garden hose defense. Next, a thorough stir. Then another spray. And finally, feeling if the ashes are cool.
Oh, yeah.
Ah yes, the selfie. A ritual practiced so frequently with this tribe, but not so much by Smokey Bear.
Only you can prevent wildfires.
They call me Prince like I'm royalty or something. But the places I've lived ain't no palaces. So I don't need grilled salmon or a new scratching post. Just give me a cardboard box and a can of tuna and we're good. You can even change my name. I'm cool being the kitty formerly known as Prince.
They told me a bottle couldn't dream. That I would never become a superhero. But I learned how to fly. Just to come back in a new disguise. And be the hero that I've always wanted to be.
If you don't fix them, sparks from dragging tow chains could cause a wildfire, and that could be scary.
Hi, Smokey.
Only you can prevent wildfires.
Welcome back to RMU Live. Although the Pittsburgh Steelers and the Pittsburgh Penguins had the weekend off, teams rep Robert Morris completed hard this evening. Michael Shuley is in the Sports Center with more. Mike?
Thank you, Megan. And while you did say the Penguins and the Steelers were off, they will be back in action. The Steelers did not play this weekend, of course. They were on the bye week. They will, however, be back in action next Sunday when the Cleveland Browns come to town. The Penguins were also out of action this weekend, but they will return to the ice tonight when they travel to Edmonton to take on Connor McDavid and the Oilers at 9 p.m. As for RMU Sports, the women's soccer team split their two contests this weekend. They fell in their first game on Friday 2-0 to the Bryant Bulldogs. However, they were able to bounce back yesterday when they defeated Sacred Heart 2-1. Jane Schleicher scored her 11th goal of the season. As for the men's soccer team, they did not fare as well as they dropped both games they played in this weekend, and both by a score of 1-0. They fell to the LIU Brooklyn on Friday and then Central Connecticut State yesterday. The football team picked up their second season win on Saturday when they defeated the Central State Marauders by a score of 49-45. The Colonials will look to pick up another win on Saturday when they host St. Francis. The volleyball team dropped both matches they played in this weekend. On Friday, they fell to the Central Connecticut State Blue Devils in 4 sets, and then on Saturday, they lost to the Bryant Bulldogs in 5 sets. The Colonials will be back in action with 2 games this weekend, or this upcoming weekend rather, one against St. Francis Brooklyn and the other against LIU Brooklyn. As for the men's hockey team, they played in 2 games this weekend against the Army Black Knights. The first of these contests ended in a 2-2 tie, and the second game saw the Colonials fall to the Black Knights by a score of 5-2. Next weekend, the Colonials will be back on the ice when they host the RIT Tigers. The women's hockey team was also in action this weekend when they took on the Mercyhurst Lakers. The 2 teams would split the weekend series. The Lakers won the first game by a score of 4-2, but the Colonials were able to bounce back Saturday night and win 5-1. J.C. Gebhardt scored 3 points on the evening with a goal and 2 assists. That's all we have time for in sports today. Now let's take a look at what is going on in terms of weather. Let's kick it over to Jordan Gaso. Jordan?
Thanks, Mike. As we once again look at today's forecast, we're looking at a high of 55, low 42. Not really any rain, just looking forward to cold weather today. As we go into tomorrow's forecast, looking at pretty much more of the same with a high of 52 and a low of 36. Only a 10% chance of rain with humidity at 65%. And that takes us into our 5-day forecast where we're looking at pretty muggy weather, pretty much rain the entire week. Temperatures in the mid-40s to low 30s throughout the entire week, and we're looking at rain a little bit later on. So you're going to probably need your jackets for pretty much the entire week. So that's it for the weather. Send it back to Mike and Megan at the desk.
Thanks, Jordan. That's all we have time for RMU Live today. Thanks for joining us.
For the latest on news throughout the week, follow us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram, or visit rmucenturymedia.com. Have a great week, everybody.
They call me Maxie, but I prefer tripod. I was your above-average 4-legged homie, and then wham-bam minivan. Some people pity me. Now that's lame. I still run, fetch, and swim. And the ladies love me. I'm the ultimate wingman. Just don't ask me to high-five.
Here at Robert Morris University, we pride ourselves at the experience that our students gain while they're actively learning in the classroom. Some even come back to share that knowledge with new students.
I never dreamed that I'd be back here. I'm having so much fun. I'm doing a lot of what I was trained to do and what I went to school for.
The Colonial Sports Network is a great opportunity for students to learn real job skills in sports programming.
To be able to see what the students want to make of it, because it can be anything that they want.
I love being here, seeing students, seeing myself in the students that work with me, and I'm really blessed to have so much talent to work with. It's really amazing.
To be able to see students become successful after Uppermore is really cool.
Join the Colonial Sports Network team and expand your future today.
Hey, let's check out this park. Oh, wow, that's really cool.
To find a great local park or forest near you, go to discovertheforest.org.